Enigma Tea Club!
Hello dear colleagues, welcome back to our Tea Club. Today I, Aygin Khusheinova,
and I, Tolvanay Turgazieva,
will continue talking about how to teach STEM. And I think we've already talked about some different approaches of inquiry that you can use in your lessons. And specifically, I think we're going to look at the engineering design approach.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you remember that we've done some lessons, some demonstrations lessons previously.
Yeah.
But today, Tolvanay has prepared another model of how you can use engineering design process.
Yeah, as you remember, in the previous lesson, students were writing a code for a virtual robot. And today we're doing an activity which requires at least 2 lessons. In the first lesson, we will learn about the brain, how it functions. We will learn different terms that relate to brain. And in the second lesson, we will actually work on designing a helmet that will help to protect our brains.
Wow, that sounds like a very exciting lesson. And Tolvanay, so you said that this activity requires at least 2 lessons?
Yes. And today we will be analyzing the first lesson. So without further ado, let's watch it and analyze together. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming to our lesson today. And let's look at the picture. What is this?
This is brain.
Okay. Where is your brain?
In our head.
Okay. What do you know about brain?
Brain have neurons that help us to live.
Okay, good.
This is controlling organ that control our body and plan our system.
Okay, so brain is like a computer of our body.
Main computer. Yeah.
Main computer.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you know? Any facts that you know about brain?
We can mind with them.
Huh?
We can mind with them.
What is it?
Think.
Yes, think.
Oh, okay, we can think with our brain.
Get this.
We can't live without it. So that's actually a good question. Do you think you can live if your brain is injured?
No, you will die.
Yes, you can.
We are sending the command to our brain, and the brain is like does these commands, and we like move, live, and etc.
Okay. Do you think brain controls how we breathe?
Yes.
How we, our digestive system,
Yeah.
our blood pressure?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Brain control everything.
Okay. So right now we will watch a video which will explain you parts of the brain. I will give you the handout. Please take one and pass around. Okay. This is my copy. Thank you. So, look through the questions. As we watch the video, you will fill in the gaps.
Okay.
The brain has 2 main hemispheres, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. The left side of your brain controls movements on the right side of your body, and the right side controls movements on the left side of your body. The left hemisphere is more logical and organized, and the right side is more creative and emotional.
Okay, so don't look at the worksheet yet. Let's just discuss. What did we learn from this video?
Brain has 2 hemispheres.
That's right.
Left and right. Which side does the left brain control?
Actions.
No, wait, 2 hemispheres. If I move my hand, which part of my brain is working right now?
Left.
Left. No, wait. I'm using my left hand. My right hemisphere is active, right? If I shake my right leg, my left hemisphere is working, right? So, are you a creative person? Do you like music?
Yes.
Yes.
Or arts?
Yes.
If you like drawing, which part of your hemisphere is working?
Right.
Right.
Right. And if you like mathematics,
Left side.
who likes mathematics?
No one.
No. Okay. Everyone is a left hemisphere person here.
Yeah.
Let's go through the handout, right? The brain has two hemispheres. Which ones?
Bottom side.
Left and right. Right side of the brain is,
Creative, emotional, activity.
okay. Left brain is,
Logical speaking, control.
okay.
Most
Controls.
of them.
Okay. Brain is connected to the spinal cord at the
Brain stem.
brain stem, which sends all of the signals to spinal cord. Spinal cord and the brain make the nervous system, right?
Yes.
Okay, so look at the picture and indicate. What is number one?
Frontal.
Frontal lobe. Number two,
Sensation, very
Parietal.
parietal lobe. Okay. Number three,
Temporal. Or
occipital. Number four,
temporal.
cerebellum.
number four is cerebellum. And number five is, yes. Let's practice together. I'm gonna give you what part of my brain or what injury I'm having, and you tell me what lobe has damage in my brain. Okay?
What side
Uh-huh.
you using?
So for example, which lobe is injured if you cannot hear? Temporal, okay, good. Next. Which lobe could be injured if you're blind?
Occipital.
Occipital, okay, good. Which lobe could be injured if you cannot taste anything? I'm eating, but I can't taste it. Parietal, okay. Which lobe is injured if you can't control your emotions?
Frontal.
Frontal, yes. So right now, what injuries or how can you get injuries to your brain? What do you think?
If you fall with your head,
Okay, if you fall.
when someone punch you very hard and your brain is shaking,
Yeah, okay, so when you shake it, it goes like, ooh, all neurons.
it gets heated to the sides.
Okay, good. What else?
When you goes to depression or some very strong stress, and your brain get injured also.
Okay, so that's more like a psychological.
In the other side, not the
Mhm.
physical.
Okay, good. Temperature. Okay, when you have high temperature.
Жарится, да?
English, please. What else?
Low and high temperature.
Okay. So if you're playing sports, can you damage your brain?
Yes.
Okay, if you
But-
hit something very hard. Yes.
But what is the sport which you play? Like if it's box or like fighting, it can be.
Depending
Yes.
on the sport.
Yeah, depending.
In chess, you can't, unless you fall on your head.
You get
Or you see very hard.
Okay.
You are very stressed.
When you're very stressed. Do you think you can be born with damaged brain?
Yes.
Okay. So it's somewhere in between lobes. Some connections do not get, don't work. So I'm going to show you a video of Phineas Gage. He was working on the railroads and he got injured. But you will learn more about from the video.
Before 1848, no one had any real proof that people's personalities came from their brains. But on the morning of September 13th, 1848, all that changed. A man named Phineas Gage was working with a construction company when an accidental explosion blew a metal spike through his eye, into his skull, through his brain, and out.
He lost his vision because he lost his eye, physically couldn't see. But he was very okay after this. He was walking, he could talk. But the main thing, what changes were there in his personality?
He became mean.
Yes, he became mean.
Angry.
Angry.
Aggressive.
Yes. But what was he like before?
Kind, responsible.
Yes, so he was one of those people everyone loves. He came back, he went to hospital, stayed there, came back, and everyone started like, you're not that Phineas anymore. And they actually fired him because he couldn't get along with people. So he was fighting with everyone, being rude and everything. So, do you think you can live if you have an injury in your brain?
Yes.
Do you change your mind?
Yes.
Look at this sport. Do you know what is it called? Kokboru. Okay. What do you know about this game?
Guys with horses fighting for sheep.
Okay. And how many teams are there?
Two.
Two. Do they always stay on the horses?
Yes.
Okay. And they have to fight to get it.
Yes.
Do you see, are they wearing helmets?
It's heads, yeah.
Yeah, helmet. It's a helmet. Okay. It is supposed to help them protect their brain. What injuries do you think they can get? Like
They
accidents?
can break their leg, break their bones at all, break them, they can, how to say, свернуть шею.
Break their neck.
Break their neck.
Break everything they have.
Break every voice.
I think
They can die at all.
when he rides the horse and like I want to take sheep, another horse like
Can keep.
his head off.
You will be working together, you will be working together, and you will be working together. So imagine that you are a company that designs sports equipment. Okay? And your task is to create a helmet for Kyrgyz National Kokboru League. Okay? We're preparing for Nomad Games, and we have to have the best design. Alright? So to do that, if you win, you will get all the money. You will design your helmet, but there are some criteria. So your helmet should stay on the brain. It should be like fixed. Okay? It should keep the brain from cracking. You know the word cracking?
Yes.
Okay? And it should be easy to wear again. So it's not like I put it on and I can't take it off and I live with it forever. Okay? So it has to be something that you can use multiple times. Okay? You will start brainstorming in your groups and answer these questions. What information do you need to know that will help to build a successful helmet? And write your ideas on your paper. Okay? If you need to research something, you can use your phones to research.
Shouldn't be wearing issue heavy.
Really?
Yes, shouldn't be wearing heavy.
Okay, so let's discuss. What are some things that you're looking for when you want to design your helmet?
It can be heavy.
It can be heavy, it shouldn't be heavy.
Yes.
Also, that's why it should be made from plastic or materials like plastic. Only like for designer, it's like textile, and we use textile to make design. Or it also can be designed with the plastic.
Okay, so it should not be heavy.
Yes.
What else should it be?
It should be very comfortable.
Okay, comfortable to wear.
Yes.
Because if you are wearing something uncomfortable, how are you going to play? Yeah.
Also, it should easy to take off.
Okay.
But it can't, like, if you fall, it shouldn't flew away.
Yeah, okay.
And it might protect the more unsafely places,
Like what?
like
So you want to focus on some, maybe frontal lobe has to have more protection.
I think Taekwondo's helmet like this, can be.
Okay, so you can,
Why?
That's why. I was a rider for 4 years.
If we change the material,
okay, you can use an analogy from different helmets.
yeah.
Okay, good.
It's going to have something like absorber.
Absorber, okay. Must have some absorber, yeah? Okay, good. Any other ideas?
Also, it should protect front of our head, because when you fall from horse, it's like usually you fall down to your
Back.
yes,
Uh-huh.
to spinal.
With your back.
Yes.
Okay, good.
and it should be easy to clean the helmet.
Okay, yeah, because you will be sweating. Easy to take off, clean. Okay. So good. I think this is good for a start.
Sorry.
So right now you have all the ideas and criteria for your helmet. Masat already has a design already. I want you to draw a sketch of the helmet that you want to do. You can, do you already have one?
I have.
You already have. Can I see? If you don't have it, you can start sketching.
It's like only sketch.
It's solder cell.
Yeah.
Like green.
Okay.
This iron.
I will show something.
Sketching.
Yeah.
Okay. For the next lesson, we will come back and start designing your helmet. Okay? If you want, you can change your sketch for the next class, but we will start working on your helmet next time. Okay? Are there any questions?
No.
Okay. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hey, come on in. Have a seat. We will start analyzing our lesson.
Yes, as you have already noticed, we just watched a demonstration lesson, the first demonstration lesson from Tolvanai's classroom. Please, Tolvanai, tell us how did your lesson go? What was the idea behind, doing these activities during the demonstration lesson?
Yeah, the very initial purpose was to teach students what the brain is, how it connects to our body, and what are its functions. The very first thing I did was to elicit from students, what do they know about the brain? Maybe they already know everything about the brain, but it turns out they didn't, so we had to explore together.
Yeah, I think that's a very important aspect of the lesson, because we constantly say that we need to activate our students' background knowledge. We need to make sure that we hear their voices and their ideas and thoughts. And so what was the next part of the lesson?
They watched a video, and they also did a fill in the gaps activity. So the watching was not just for the sake of watching, Watching was purposeful, and they had a purpose to fill in the gaps that they were, for example, like what are the 4 lobes of the brain?
Yeah, I think I found this activity quite interesting, because I myself thought that the vocabulary that they were using was quite difficult, and I did not expect them to remember the information that was in the video and then share it with you.
Yeah.
And I think that since the video provided some interesting ideas of how our brain works, which section of our brain is responsible for our different, movements or thoughts or ideas or personalities. That was quite interesting to hear that students were, engaged in the process of learning it as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, we don't want them to focus on those terms like occipital lobe or temporal lobe.
Right.
We just wanted to make sure that they can understand that the brain has so many different parts and that they work together, and they can understand that injuring some part of it may cause some changes in the person.
Yeah.
And after that, I showed a video where it was like an interesting story of a person who survived a huge injury to his brain, but the purpose was to analyze how did behavior change after the accident. So, and also students changed their mind. They were saying that, oh, you cannot live if your brain is injured. And they changed their mind, and I think it was interesting how they didn't expect this type of situation.
Right. And I think here we're actually, elaborating, we're expanding the students' knowledge and providing them with some new, interesting and engaging information, and saying that, yes, your ideas, you're absolutely right, but here's some, changes or some new information that you need to learn more about. And that sounds quite exciting. So tell me, Tolgana, how does it relate to the engineering design model in teaching STEM?
Yeah, when we were analyzing with students, how do people can get like injuries to their brain? And their answers were shaking, falling down, or doing some sports. So I presented a challenge to them, which was that they are working in a company designing a sports equipment. Specifically in this case, it was a helmet for National Kokboru League. So they already received a task, and they were getting ready for it. We gave them time to brainstorm and sketch their ideas and go home with it. So they can have enough time to analyze and come back in the next lesson where we actually do the challenge.
That sounds quite exciting. And I noticed that your students who are already, providing some details on what kind of materials they would like to use, or, what kind of helmets, they want to build to make sure that, our brain stays safe while playing Kokboru.
Yeah, it's a part of engineering design approach to teaching STEM, where you give them the challenge, but students brainstorm their interest of their stakeholders, possible solutions, and then they work on the challenge.
Yeah. I'm very curious how they're going to implement all of their ideas into, real life. How are they going to design a helmet for, to protect the brain?
Yeah. And we will watch all of this in the next lesson, so stay tuned and we'll discuss more about it.
Yes, please come back, because I think we're going to look at the very exciting and engaging activity where the students have the hands-on experience of building a helmet to protect our brain. And if we summarize today's discussion, we noticed that Tolgana has prepared her students to the challenge by bringing up some new information and building up the context for our students.
Yes.
And I think one of the most important aspects here as well, providing some real life challenge, a role, so the students are motivated to build things. So they're not just talking about something else, but they feel the responsibility of becoming these engineers and building a very protective helmet for our Kokboru players.
Yes. Okay, thank you for having us here. We hope you enjoyed this lesson, and we can't wait to see you in the next one.
So what do you think the challenge is going to be about? What kind of helmets the students are going to design? Please make sure you share your thoughts and ideas using our Facebook or Instagram pages. And see you next time. Bye.
Bye.